Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Capandball here, your favorite gun channel in beautiful bright English language, and today I have a very nice comparison for you. This is musket versus rifle, US musket versus rifle, and we are flying back to the age of the American-Mexican War. Come with me, this will be interesting, I tell you. What you see in the picture are two US firearms serving together in the same age. The goal of today's experiment is to compare their rate of fire and accuracy, but most importantly to burn a good amount of holy black powder. Above is a model 1821 musket and below is a model 1841 Mississippi rifle. The general arm of the US infantry was the musket until the introduction of the rifle musket starting from 1855. Only special purpose troops were armed with rifles. The Flintlock musket is an original piece made in Harper's Ferry in 1833. And the Mississippi rifle is also an original. It was made by Eli Whitney Jr. in 1855. They are good representations of the arms used in the Mexican War. A 69 caliber smoothbore musket and a 54 caliber rifle. Both are in nice shooting condition and both guns will be shot with their original cartridges made exactly as described in the Ordnance Manual of 1850. So we have 4 cartridges on the table, a patch round ball and a naked ball cartridge for the rifle and a single ball and backhand ball cartridge for the musket. Ladies and gentlemen, you make this channel rolling, so if you wish, if you find value in what I do and you can afford it, please support me on patreon.com/capandball. We are also present on the History of Weapons and War platform, which is a perfect ad-free place for all the gun nuts like us with thousands of videos from educational channels. Also, please subscribe, like, share, comment, because this will help the channel grow. Thank you very much. Let's start with the most common infantry arm of the age, the musket. The cartridge is charged with 110 grains of musket powder, or in my case Swiss 1.5F powder as a substitute, and an unpatched 65 caliber lead round ball. The next arm is the Mississippi rifle. If you want to know everything about the cartridges, please watch my video about their construction. The link to the video is on the card and in the description. This cartridge holds 75 grains of rifle powder, 3 FG Swiss powder as substitute, and a patched 525 lead round ball. two 50-meter group sizes, ladies and gentlemen, shot offhand, so this is close to the practical accuracy, which is still very far from the real practical accuracy, because in combat you have the combat stress, which absolutely reduces your capability for accuracy. So with the musket, with the smoothbore musket, it's a Harper's Ferry made musket. It was made in 1833. It's a model 1821 US musket. We have all the three shots, let's say, within the size of an enemy head or chest, something, but all those three shots are here. They would cause a lethal wound at this distance without any problem. But if you want to see the real advantage of the rifle, of course it will not turn out at 50 meters but at larger distances. We can clearly see the difference, because the patch roundball cartridge of the Mississippi rifle delivered, let's say, less than 5 centimeter group, which I would absolutely accept for a competition as well, if I could do it 13 times after one another. But this is technically a very good group. So this clearly shows the real capabilities of the rifle. And in case of this patch roundball cartridge that was mentioned, and which I show you its construction in the previous video, I really have to say that the rate of fire did not suffer too much.
Let's go for the naked ball cartridge, charged with 75 grains of rifle powder and an unpatched 5.25 round ball.
Ladies and gentlemen, you would think that the accuracy will suffer because we are not using a patch. But in fact, at 50 meter, it does not. 1, 2, 3 shots are in the size of a 10 ring on the normal pistol target, which is 5 centimeters, which is technically the same as in the case of the patch roundball cartridge. So, all in all, it is a bit harder to load, I agree, but the accuracy at 50 meter did not suffer.
110 grains of musket powder, a 65 caliber round ball, and 3 30 caliber buckshots. The back end ball was one of the most devastating infantry ammunitions of the age.
Okay, this is something I could not resist to do. I have my musket here, which means I have to shoot some back end ball, and for shooting back end ball it is much better to have a target with a line of infantry. This is the most simple close combat formation, and I'm going to aim somewhere here on this guy, and we are going to see what the back end ball does to them. The distance is the same 50 meters as in case of the rifle and the musket with the normal cartridge. we have a 65 caliber round ball and 1, 2, 3 30 caliber back shots in this cartridge, backed with 110 grains of musket powder. And we have 1, 2, 3 wounds here, so this guy is out of the business for sure. And we have a light wound here. But for a bit more distance, the spread is going to open up, and I'm pretty sure that we can hit more of these soldiers. Let's do some more damage to this target. Let's check it. It is quite interesting that the 3 back shots in each cartridge did not ruin so far the accuracy of the round ball, because 1, 2, 3, 4 shots are, let's say, in the size of the chest for sure at 50 meter, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12 back shots in the target. And my aiming point was always here, at the belly of the center soldier, and you can see that there's 1 wound here, and there is 1 wound here, so even at 50 meters the spread is enough to wound the soldiers on the 2 sides.
You can ask me now what is the conclusion and relevance of this test, because 50 meters for a rifle is nothing. The real dominance of the rifle will turn out at longer ranges, and this is something that we are going to try in the next videos, believe me. What we saw today is that the musket needed only 52 seconds for 3 shots to fire, while the rifle with the patch round ball cartridge needed 67 seconds, and with the naked ball cartridge it needed 72 seconds. And this is not such a great difference. It was very interesting to see that the naked ball cartridge of the rifle was actually harder to load than the tighter fitting patch round ball cartridge, which was lubricated with tallow, because the tallow was of good help in fouling management in the bore. Their accuracy was interestingly exactly the same, which means that probably the patch is not a significant factor in accuracy, but it's a significant factor in fouling management. But to be honest, the single bore cartridge of the musket at this distance, at 50 meters distance, was still perfect for killing an enemy soldier. So there is no difference in the killing capability of the guns at this distance. But let's not forget that there's a great difference between the training of the rifleman and the general infantry. The average GI armed with a musket, well, his main role was to fire volleys to the enemy on the front of the enemy close combat formation, while the rifleman was trained to pick 1 single soldier from the row or 1 single soldier from the picket line or skirmish line. But just based on this short-range test, I really have to say that the Mississippi rifle's capabilities are just as good on short ranges as the musket, because the rate of fire is really not significantly less. These few seconds does not really mean anything. One disadvantage of the Mississippi rifle is that it does not have a bayonet. But this is why the riflemen were equipped with a large Bowie-style knife that was hanging on their belts. If I had to choose an arm and a cartridge for such short-range combat, I would surely go for the back and ball cartridge and the smoothbore musket, because that's devastating. That's the most lethal cartridge and most lethal combination of the war, I guess.
So stay with me, ladies and gentlemen, because in the next chapters we are going to go for long range. Longer range is of course not 1000 yards, but let's say 100 or 150 yards, and we are going to check what's the real difference between the accuracy and the musket. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in. You've been watching the Capandball YouTube channel. If you like what I do, then please support us on patreon.com/capandball or be a member of History of Weapons and War platform. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, switch on notifications because it will help us grow. Ladies and gentlemen, until next time, stay cool and keep your powder dry.